Good morning. Good morning. It's a great day to be an Eagle. Welcome to the 29th Ann Ferren Conference. My name is Jill Klein, and on behalf of the Center for Teaching, Research, and Learning, from all of our faculty and staff, it is a pleasure to welcome you to our program today, Reimagining the 21st Century Educator. How many of you are participating in your very first Ann Ferren Conference? Awesome. Welcome. How many of you are participating in your fifth? How many are 5 or more? How many are 10 or more? Welcome. You're starting to head into my territory. I have attended at least 15 Ann Ferren conferences and have led sessions at more than half of them. But nothing is quite as humbling as leading the effort. I knew that AU faculty and staff seek to support CTRL's efforts each year, but this past 6 months, the spirit of generosity that fuels our programming has been so apparent. I hope that your experience today matches the extraordinary learning that has been the focus of our preparation for today. This year's conference focuses on the importance and power of changing the pedagogical paradigms, education as a civic engagement, power of mentorship, and of course, technology innovation. Today, you will have the opportunity to engage with colleagues from across campus, and I hope by the end of the day, you will mine a little nugget of knowledge that you can add to your class this spring, or perhaps tuck away until you begin planning for teaching the next term. The word cloud that's displayed on the wall features your input into our planning, and as you hear things today that reinforce or introduce a new way of teaching, tweet about it. Let's see AU Educators 2018 trending on Twitter, because we know we could use some good news trending on Twitter. And by lunch, by the way, we will have this word cloud evolve that reflects the things that you tweet about. Our conference website features opportunities for you to comment, and I invite you to add your perspectives as you visit and participate in the sessions throughout the day. Today, our program moves at a very accelerated pace, so please be mindful of the time as you move from your sessions and back to the luncheon program. I do want to acknowledge that there is a typo in the program, and so the second sessions do not begin at 11:30. They begin at 11. So please make a note. You have 15 minutes. We're not making people run between main campus and Spring Valley, so the 15-minute thing should work. I know some of you will be going over to East Campus as part of our programming. And please know that we have CTRL staff positioned throughout all of the session venues to assist you. So if you have a question, please ask. And remember, at each session, we have these cool boxes. It's called Drop Your Raffle Ticket, which should be on the back of your bag. At the end of the day, we will have a raffle. We will notify you by email. I understand that one of the very awesome prizes are 2 tickets to the remainder of all women's basketball games at AU. So go Eagles. So make sure you put in your raffle tickets. You will notice that students are front and center in our word cloud. So it makes sense that we start our day today with our students. I am pleased to introduce Provost Scott Bass as we begin our conference. Provost Bass joined the university in 2008 and serves as the Chief Academic Officer, providing leadership to AU's 7 schools and colleges, the university library, enrollment services, and other academic affairs units. Dr. Bass is also a professor of public administration and policy in our School of Public Affairs. He is a fellow at the Gerontological Society of America and has been awarded the prestigious Donald P. Kent Award for exemplifying the highest standards of professional leadership in gerontology through teaching, service, and interpreting gerontology for the larger society. He has written and edited 8 books, 27 book chapters, 55 articles, has earned a Fulbright Research Scholarship to Japan, and has been a visiting professor at Stanford University. But most importantly, Provost Bass is recognized as an innovator in higher education. Since his arrival at AU in 2008, Provost Bass has focused on strategic planning, diversity, strengthening the academic infrastructure, and enhancing the total student experience. A sample of his accomplishments during this time include the hiring of over 137 tenure-line faculty, increasing the racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic diversity, establishing the Frederick Douglass Distinguished Scholars Program, transforming university honors into a living learning community, expanding the university college program, and revising general education, and finally, the 3-year bachelor's program with a 4th-year master's degree option. Provost Bass, please join me in welcoming AU faculty, staff, and guests to the Ann Ferren Conference.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, and good morning. Welcome to the Ann Ferren Conference. And just going back in that history, this is number 10 for me. So these things, time passes quickly. First, let me recognize Jill Klein for her and her team for leading today's event. So please give Jill a round of applause. This conference provides the opportunity for us to gather collectively and contemplate teaching, learning, research, and our students. This year's conference theme, Reimagining the Educator of the 21st Century, you will experience throughout the day this concept of the student and how it's changing in today's society. As you know, over the last 2 years, we have focused on RISE, which is reinventing the student experience, in order to meet what we are calling, in quotes, the 21st century students. And our students are different than they were even 5 years ago. We've learned a lot about the student experience through groups, surveys, interviews, meetings, assessments, considering that experience from the point of view of the student and students who are bringing a much wider and varied background to AU. We have looked introspectively at our student service models, our administrative structures, our processes, policies, tools, and we've explored outside of AU some of the best practices in higher education and some of the best practices that are done in terms of a customer experience in other industries. The results is that we've learned a great deal about ourselves and our students, and in many ways we've already begun to enhance the student experience. And I should say that it's next fall that we will really truly be expanding our offerings and enhancements to the student experience with a dramatic increase in our advisors to the first-year students. Previously, the ratio of students to advisor is more than 300 to 1, and next year for the first-year experience, that will be 76 students to an advisor. And we will be introducing an entirely new core curriculum. As we reimagine the student experience, perhaps it's time to turn that lens on ourselves. That is, how are we meeting the students where they are? Have we considered the different ways to facilitate learning to a new generation of students? Now is the time to reflect and reimagine ourselves as educators in an effort to ensure that the teaching we are doing is yielding the learning that we seek to have. Momentarily, you're going to see a video, and it's called Video of the 21st Century Students, in which a cross-section of AU students share their thoughts about the 21st educator. and the 21st educator is us. So as you view this video, which is produced and created by students, as to what they're saying about educators, about us. And I'd like you to think about what are the key attributes that they present in their video. How does it align with your perspective of the role of faculty? And following that video, you'll have an opportunity to participate in a table discussion. There'll be a facilitator to assist in that conversation. And as you proceed through this very interesting program and day, I hope you will reflect on those comments from the video from our students and insights that are shared at your table in terms of how you think about this role of educator. So let me close. As I close, let me thank Emily Crawford, who's a Master's SOC graduate 2018, for her creation of the video. And I want to thank you all for the time you've committed to today, and enjoy the day. Thank you.
I think the ideal 21st century educator is someone who is culturally competent and works actively to better understand who their students are, where they come from, and what they go through. And I also think the ideal 21st century educator is someone who really places an importance on the students' potential for growth rather than just their grades, and gives students the agency in the classroom to really take control of their education.
Ideally, a 21st century educator is going to be somebody who embraces innovation and new technologies. You know, all the technologies that are available now to educators, such as artificial intelligence and social media, other global resources, they're going to be very important in all industries. And I think making sure that educators know how to teach students to apply them to their courses, and not only that, but advance them in their industries, is important.
My ideal 21st century educator is someone that engages students inside and outside the classroom. Their learning does not stop and end at the classroom door, and it shouldn't end. And there's nuance and there's levels and degrees to learning, and I think the more engagement, the better.
The ideal 21st century educator is an educator that can explain a problem 5 different ways in order to meet the individual needs of its students.
My ideal professor is one who is rigorous, critical, and most importantly, I think constantly evolving. As a professor, if you are the same educator you were 5 years ago or even 5 months ago, that means you stagnated. The field is going to change, your students are going to change, and you as a professional should change with it.
First off would be patience, just because it does take a little while for students to get subject matters and to understand exactly what it is that's being taught to them. They would also have to demonstrate an expertise in the field that they're trying to teach. And again, just being a little more worldly, being a little more understanding of different cultures.
So the first quality is someone who is adaptable. I've always appreciated, especially when protests and things like that happen on campus, I like professors to give us opportunities to go to those protests and be part of the community. Secondly, a professor who is, good with technology and open to using technology in the classroom. And lastly, a professor whose material is really up to date, especially in a lot of the marketing classes and communications classes that I take. Just because things are changing so quickly, it's important to have information that is, as up to date and as timely as possible.
Someone who is accessible, engaging, and also understanding. In order for a professor to be understanding, they need to realize that life is not black and white. Things come up, and sometimes things come up last minute.
I would challenge faculty to challenge their own assumptions. I think that we're getting asked that a lot of students, but I think faculty should do that as well. I think sometimes they come into the classroom and think, I've been doing this for 30 years, I know exactly what I'm doing, but I think the classrooms of today are different from even the classrooms of 5 years ago. So I would challenge faculty to think of new ways to engage their students.
Think of an educator as similar to a student. Lean into that discomfort.
I would challenge faculty to use their own classroom as a hub for innovation. I really think that students' potential to create solutions to modern problems is largely untapped. So I ask faculty to ask students what matters to them and then give them the opportunity to lead the way.
You need to step outside of your comfort zone, step outside of your own perspective, step outside of campus, I think, and really be involved and engaged in the lives and in the communities of your students and in the surrounding area, because I think that's how you grow.
Be involved with the AU community beyond their classroom. It's always awesome to see professors attending events that their students have organized or led. And that way there will be more school spirit within the classroom, but also it'll just be awesome to see our professors engaged with our lives as much as we're engaged with their classroom.
Keep learning. I know that you guys all have a PhD and you guys have experience in your fields, but there's so much happening and so much changing constantly, and I think that in order to be excellent and an excellent professor, you need to keep learning, because you can always learn from your students just like they can learn from you.
Try and be a student for one day.
Wow. Great. I don't know where Emily is this morning, but that was awesome. And this really was all student produced. So I want to thank all the students involved. And you do get to be a student for a day. You ready? This is our day to do that. So we've got a poll before we ask our facilitators to get you talking, because the active classroom is so much a part of the pedagogical paradigm that we see in our classrooms today. We're going to let you practice that very quickly. And so the first thing we're going to do, I think the poll is up. I got to look behind me because I don't have it in front of me here. Is it there? Oh, okay. What did we do? Did I hit something or did you? Hold on. I love when everybody knows I'm a technology professor. It always fails for me. Never, really, all the AV people will tell you that. You feel better now knowing it always happens? Okay, so if you all can see this, what we would like you to do is to whip out your mobile devices. Come on, you're just like our students. I know you all have your phones, even though they're on silent, right? Take out that phone. Go on here and answer this poll question. Now, I know, professors, we want to overanalyze it. I want you just to answer the question. Don't think too hard. Okay? So, huh? Oh, yeah, people who are standing, get up here. You know who I'm looking at. What is it? Oh. What is it? So at edspace.american.edu / which way? Which slash are we doing? /AFC. / Thanks for that, David. This is what? Okay, I'm going to get everybody. Is everybody at edspace.american.edu /AFC /breakfast? What? Breakfast-plenary. Actually, can you take that and make the screen bigger? Can you do an explode on that? Oh, let's see. No? Don't worry, we're going to get this for you guys. edspace.american.edu /AFC /breakfast-plenary. Did it come up? Make a new Word doc. There we go. Give us 1 second. We're going to make this technology work for you. Oh, it's on the table card. Right. Everybody on the table card? On the table card. There we go. David, can you get the poll? It says it's maxed out on the poll. Just turn it on, I think. Oh, there we go. All right, so we're going to move it on. We're going to move along because you guys are actually going to solve this. We'll figure this out. What I am going to ask is this, part of being a good professor is you got to just kind of like roll with it, what happens in the classroom. So here we go. What I would ask is that each table should have a facilitator, which is why you've got the little green pieces. If for some reason a table doesn't, don't worry, I'll come around and make sure you know what to do. What we would like to do is have you very quickly, no more than 2 minutes, go around your table and based on what you heard and those 4 themes, say one thing, this is very hard, one thing that resonates with you based on this video. One thing, and then I would ask that the facilitators are gonna go into our website and they're gonna pick the 1 or 2 things that are most dominant on that, on your table conversation. So 4 themes, you heard from your students, what resonated with you? One thing, what resonated with you? Please go around the table and your facilitators will take some notes. Some of you that are sitting at small tables, feel free to socialize with a few more folks so you get a little bit more chit chat. And I'll be back in about 8 or 9 minutes to tell you to wrap up. All right, I am so excited to tell you, you have got a 2-minute warning. But here's what I would ask, please, is the table facilitators, if you would notice on your table there is a comment card. If you would kindly take out your mobile device and leave a reply on, you can do it, if you really want to do it on paper, I'll collect it. But come on, let's be a little bit like our students. Put it up on your mobile or your tablet. If I could ask the facilitators to capture the 1 or 2 really critical observations that have come out of your table conversations and put them on the website, we will then be able to go through and curate the website, because I would sure like to see that word cloud evolve as the day progresses. And as you do that, please grab another cup of coffee. Enjoy these sessions. I will tell you that our colleagues who have put together these sessions today have worked really hard. We have spent a lot of time coaxing them into making sure that they create a really vibrant environment for you to learn and discuss. So I hope everybody has a fabulous day. I look forward to seeing everybody back here for lunch. And again, please, table facilitators, get our blog going, and please give us some stuff on Twitter so that we can trend and maybe we'll be on the news tonight instead of some of those other big tweeters. Thank you.